My name is Sam. Sam Willis. I am the co-creator of Raise Comics and slash team leader of everything that kind of goes on with our comic books. And we've been creating this comic for 4 or 5 years now. So, yeah.
And I am Trey Primm. I am also the co-creator slash co-writer for Raise Comics and former artist. You can say that as well. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do also.
So what have y'all been doing in the last year and a half we talked last?
So obviously we just had our last time we talked. I think we were in the middle of our first Kickstarter that I think we did. And that was getting all the rewards done for that, and getting all the shipping and everything for that Kickstarter done. And then after issue 5, we kind of had to we're discussing on what we were going to do moving forward with this series, and the art style we were going to go to, and the artist we were going to go to, because like Trey said, he was the former artist. So now it was really just finding someone new, finding someone fresh. We are more in the manga style now for our comics, so proud to say we are, I think a combination between Western and manga. I would say more on the manga side now, so being a zombie manga, I think is very cool. Just to say that. But yeah, we've been busy just trying to get this issue done, trying to get a new issue out to the public, and coming up with some cool rewards for Kickstarter, cool art, and trying to fire off on all those different cylinders.
How did you stop being the artist?
I guess I was always sort of the interim artist. I'll be honest, it wasn't planned that we switch artists. So we had one artist who was working on the first 3, which everyone's kind of used to. And then, things happen, so on and so forth. So we couldn't bring him on for the next one. Just so we didn't lose time and momentum, I just kind of stepped in to kind of fill in for an issue before we could find an actual artist. But also we knew we were going to be switching styles, so I tried to bridge the two. So my style was kind of in between before we got to the actual manga style that I was mentioning before.
Okay. When does the Kickstarter end?
So I believe it's October 24th, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we got about 17 days left, and we're actually $86 away from being funded. So
nice.
Yeah, so super exciting on that. But yeah, we're just kind of really excited because we have an incredible artist. Shout out to Vinces Oliveira. He is the man. We consider this our baby, and through the process of creating this comic, we've maybe sent back like 2 edits, maybe. And my co-creator is a bit of a stickler when it comes to designs and making sure everything looks how we want it to look. And I think we are very happy with the person we have and just how incredible he is.
Okay. Did y'all make it into comic shops yet?
Yeah, so we're in a few comic shops in the East Coast right now. We're trying to get in more. We've been trying to kind of feel out more on the digital side with our social medias and kind of spread word of mouth with our project. And we actually have Cody Dole, who's from Keeping It Geekly, who's been kind of behind the scenes helping us out, spread the word on everything related to our project, and just trying to get our name out there.
Okay. So are you doing a book like every 6 months or like every 3 months?
Yeah, so this was the first, I think, Kickstarter we did in a while. I think last Kickstarter was, I want to say, around August. And I want to say we brought him on, I want to say maybe around between the February and April date. Between him helping us with all the Kickstarter art and also doing issue 6 simultaneously, I would say we're looking probably around a 4-month production time, and that's not including, I would say, finalization of dialogue and speech bubbles and editing. I would just say just the baseline for the art. He's quick. He's very to the point, and yeah, he's pretty incredible. We've gone from I think an 8-month lead time to a 4-month, so it's been a very good turnaround.
So on each cover, so I got the first 3 here. That's what I'm keeping
Mhm.
looking at. The first one's hands, the second one's broken glass, and the third one is a tire.
Mhm.
Does that have to play in with the story? What's on the cover?
So it plays in to each individual issue. So we really want to do a cover design that's not so much painting out everything you're going to see. You want to take one little piece of the issue and kind of put on the front, and it's up for the readers to figure out how does that tie into this issue. What's this going to be in reference to when we read the issue.
I like it. Very, very clean. I'll put up a couple still images when I edit.
Yes.
You know. So what is on 4, 5, and 6?
For cover wise or just story wise?
Cover wise.
So 4 is actually so it's kind of I would say we did a
cars on the
yeah
side.
yeah we did like these it's pretty much we call it the junkyard arc. It was kind of teased at the end of 3, but 4 I want to say all the way to issue 9 is pretty much our first arc. I think issues 1 through 3 is kind of the almost like the I want to say prologue. It's not really prologue, but it's almost like the introduction to our characters, the world, everything going on around them, and then we kind of dive into the nitty gritty from 4 to 9. So 4 is the cars. 5 is actually it's almost like a sunset in the woods. So you get kind of like the red and purple in the sky, and you can almost see like you're looking up. You can kind of see like the branches. So you see the sky, the branches, which is pretty much the entire thing of issue 5 is being in the woods. And issue 6 is it's 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 the what?
The dark warehouse, and there's
Yeah.
of the vials on the ground.
Yep. So a lot of teases to what we're trying to do in the issue. So anyone who picks up an issue, it's actually we try at least to almost have like a panel that is almost like a part of what the cover is. And I think we've done that very well for the past 6 issues.
It's thumbnails, but in book form.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, if anybody hasn't seen the first interview we did, you want to give them the elevator pitch on your book?
Yes. So, Raise is an action-adventure horror series over 10 years in the making. We join a group of quirky young adults in their never-ending fight against the savage infected. Animalistic in nature, these mutated humans are ever-evolving as they are lethal. But the question is, where did they come from? Why are they here, and who is responsible for the raising of society? The answer is much darker than you think.
Yeah. Aren't y'all going to do like 100 issues? Right?
We're trying about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're so the thing is like every time we talk about how long the story is, we kind of don't know. I mean, we've been writing this for 10 years, and we want to do a lot in this genre for this comic because I think it has a little bit of it has a little bit of something for everybody: drama, action, romance, horror, comedy when we can fit it in. So I mean, I don't think anyone in the horror genre's done that yet or have tried to successfully. So I mean, the thing is we're just having fun, like we're still those kids in 7th grade who came up with this idea, and I think once it stops becoming fun, then I think we'll kind of be like, all right, we need to wrap this thing up, but I think we have a clear path on how we want to do things moving forward with the story and get people invested in the story.
All right. Are you going to turn them into trades? Are you going to do like 1 through 10?
Yeah, so that's what we're trying to plan out. We're also You know, it's difficult because unfortunately, when we started this, we didn't know anything about making comics. So it's kind of been this thing where if you go from issue 1 to now 6, you know, it's been kind of slowly evolving in art style. But we do want to do trades. We're trying to figure out the best way because the way we want to do it is we kind of want to do it by arcs. You know, we started on issue 1, and I think issue 9 is when the junkyard ends. So realistically, we want to have that in one book, so people can just get, you know, people can get that first kind of like storyline with our comic, and then obviously we move forward trying to divvy up what's going to make sense with the trades and how many issues we're going to do and all that good stuff.
All right. Y'all, you've learned a lot in a year and a half making comics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I think you got one thing down, and then there's 5 more things to learn about that one thing.
Yep.
I think it was, what was it, like 2 interviews ago, we were just speaking with someone about font. And I never thought font would be a big issue, but I think we argued for like 4 days about what font to use.
It's grueling stuff.
What did y'all decide on?
Well, the problem is like, you know, any font you go with, you almost want it to be like, you almost want it to complement what you're going for in your comic. You know what I mean? And I think we got really in our heads about it when we were trying to figure it out, because it's like, you know, this is when we're doing issue 5, and we were kind of almost transitioning to this manga style, but thus far we had the Western style, and we needed something that was going to be kind of like a neutral ground. And we had many discussions and many arguments of what made sense and how, you know, it almost had to be that middle part for the text, you know, because we weren't fully in that manga phase yet, you know. Like Trey said, he was trying to bridge that. Well, yeah, we can't do that. We can't just rapidly go over to manga text when we haven't even bridged the art over there yet. So it was kind of this giant debate, me and him going back and forth.
It was mostly on my end because I had just done the lettering for 24 pages, and we're like, oh, well, this font fits the style better. I'm like, no, I'm not redoing it. I'm not redoing it. For days, I'm like, nope, I'm not redoing it. And then I'm like, all right, let's redo it.
Right, then I think it would be a whole nother argument when you look at it like each character could have a different font, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then it just, the rabbit hole begins.
Oh yeah, that and sound effects, man. I mean, you could go on you could go down a deep tunnel if you want, you know, things to look different, how they want, you know, it to sound when the readers are reading it. Like it's just.
Is it so many H's? Should I put 3 H's or 4?
Right.
I think somebody needs to put that out. Comic book sound effects, and comic book fonts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making it like not like a standard, but these are your go-to 10 or 20. You know.
Mm-hmm. Or even too, I think I mean a cool idea would even be like, you know, if you have all these characters in a book, you almost have like a glossary for like different texts and how they look and who's speaking, and you know, like it just, you know, almost makes it so it's like it's like a deeper level to the font game. Because I think in the indie community, one of the most overlooked things, like if you have great art and then you butcher the font, oh man, it sucks. It's like making a sandwich and it looks so good, but it tastes like crap. You're like, oh man, I want to be so good, and it's you know.
See now I'm just gonna have to go through and look at a bunch of fonts now. You know, it's never even crossed my mind to even think about. All right, what else have y'all thought about and had to fix in comics or in y'all's comics?
I mean,
composition, just laying out, especially now that we have another artist, because before we were just kind of doing whatever. Like the way we kind of write the issue, it makes sense to us, maybe not to someone else. So when I was drawing them, I'm like, all right, so we have the character here. Well, what's behind him? What's over here? How is it framed in the panel? So we learned a lot about composition, setting up the scene and just making it more more pleasing to the reader when they actually look at the actual panel.
So when y'all did y'all's research, did you like Google stuff or look at old comic books?
Google stuff. We bought some books too. I think I have a composition book I purchased. I just go straight to the source. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy a book about that. Even if I need it for like one day, I'm gonna buy the book for that. Oh, here's a book on getting the bleed correct. I'm gonna buy a book about that. They have like 12 books sitting over there just to help with this comic stuff.
I can confirm. We're roommates, so when the Amazon packages come in, you notice, the stack of books just coming in. But no, I would say, I think, and me and Trey have talked about this. I think a lot about this industry is, adapting to what you don't know. And we didn't know much going into it, but I think, doing the research and trying to it's honestly this competition between us. Like, how can we one up ourselves? You know what I mean? Like, we do a page that feels right and just works perfectly. And, when you get that page, you're like, okay, we need to do that every page. And sometimes that's hard with like the script you have and what you're trying to accomplish, across page to page. And that's like one thing, like if you can get the flow of panels down, like really well, that's something that's almost an art in itself, because it's like a movie, if the movie shots are clunky, like you're gonna be like, what's going on here? Like, this is hard to read, this is hard to watch. So like, if you can get that down pat and you do the research where you can create something that's fluid, you're gonna kill it. Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh, book signings. Do you have any book signings going into the next couple months?
So we are trying to. I know we have Rhode Island Comic Con coming up near us, and it's going to be actually pretty massive because they have I actually just looked at the celebrity list, and they have a lot of crazy people going there. Crazy in a good way, but Rhode Island Comic Con. We have, I think, a few local stores around us. We're trying to. The goal is moving on to next year is really dedicating going to a lot of places we haven't been, as far as comic book shops and cons. A lot of the places we've stayed local. So I think moving forward in 2024, the goal is really to outreach to a lot of new places and a lot of new fans. That's the goal, at least.
What city are you in? Rhode Island?
No, we're actually so right now we're in Clinton, Mass. So it's about, I want to say, 45 minutes from Rhode Island. But yeah, it's not too far. But we got a lot of, there's a lot of comic book shops in the Northeast. So
that's what I was going to say, and a lot of different creators up there too.
Yep, a lot of great creators up here.
Yeah. What social medias are you on?
So that guy down there is not.
He knows better than me. I'm not really a social media guy. I'll log on, look at a few memes, and then I'm
log
off. So currently we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Global Comics, Amazon. You can follow us on our Raise Comics Twitter. It's our official, pretty much anything like update related, anything going on with our Kickstarter, we post on there. And it's at Raise Comics. That's our tag or Twitter handle, whatever you want to call it. And we're on Facebook too. You can obviously search Raise Comics. We have official Facebook page. And you can come connect with us on there as well as our Instagram. All Raise Comics, pretty much the same.
We should have a link tree on the Twitter though to make it easier.
Yeah, so and that's going to bring you to pretty much all our links that we have set up in there. But yeah, we're pretty much on almost every social media platform.
Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Yeah, I'll start and Trey can finish. If you are a fan of comics, or you are a fan of finding new projects, or you rooting for the underdog, come our way. We got a lot of story to tell. We're trying to, I think, break down and reinvigorate the zombie genre. I think as people might see it, it's got a little bit for everybody. We got 8 characters you could choose from. I'm sure you're gonna find one that's your favorite. So come get invest with us. Come join us on our journey. The part of the journey is you guys following us, and obviously seeing our growth and seeing what we can put out to you guys, and hopefully you guys like it.
Yep, and just to follow up what he was saying, a lot of work has gone into this project, as I assume you guys know a lot of projects do. But our story is equal parts fact as it is fiction. For us, it's not so much just giving you a cool page or cool design just to say, "Oh, that looks great." Um, Wherever we can, we try to get into the science behind said idea as well. So at least for me, if someone can find this as equally educational as they do entertaining, then I think we've done our job and then some. So if it sounds something you guys like, I hope it is, and feel free to check us out.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to come talk with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us again.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on, subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.